Hey there, do you ever find yourself procrastinating? And I don't mean just now and then, but maybe you've got some big dreams, some things you really want to achieve in your life and your business, but you find that you're just not taking the actions that you really need to take in order to actualize, like you can see here on my screen. Yeah. It's hard to point in the right direction. There we go. To actualize the things that you really, really want. I'm Susie Daphnis. I'm the CEO of Her Business. I'm also the host of the Reach Retreat, which we hold in Hawaii every year. We take a beautiful group of women across, and coming up this October, we've already got some wonderful women joining us in Hawaii. And one of the main features is what we're talking about today. Day 3 of the Reach Retreat is called Actualize. And today I'm going to be giving you a sneak peek of what we actually do there in Hawaii and giving you some very practical things that you can work with, including identifying 3 of the reasons that you might not be getting that little bit closer to your goals, right? And I hate to see that for anybody. I hate to see it for myself. And so what we're going to be doing is looking at what those mistakes are that women are making and what we've created to be able to work more in your favor of having you not be busy for the sake of busyness, not be doing all the things, but really to be making conscious, purposeful movement towards the things you really want. Actualize, I'll explain a little more about. It's part of the REACH process. REACH is an acronym. And this week already, we've looked at 2 parts of the REACH process. Today's part 3, and we have another 2 parts, and I'll walk you through all the aspects of the process so that you know that you can put this in place. Hello from Melbourne. Hello, Anna. Lovely to have you here. So the celebrations have begun as far as getting women ready to be with me in October in Hawaii and to get that clarity in that new direction that they tell me that they want. Because when we reach up, when we reach out, when we start to reach beyond our comfort zone, that's where the magic is. That's where the great things happen. And I've been working with this REACH process for many, many, many years. I talk about Hawaii. This is a place I first went to 30 years ago this June to do a business school for entrepreneurs. And I can tell you, it was really a tricky time. I'll tell you more about that later. But in the time since, I really distilled and really started to use this 5-part REACH process, which is really a way to unlock creating anything you want in your business, whether you want higher paying clients, whether you want more revenue, whether you want more time, whether you want your business to be able to pay for that beautiful property in country Victoria, whatever it is for you. The REACH process is a way to unlock that. And like I said, all week for free in a daily training, I'm giving you access to the REACH process. So I want to walk you through the 5 elements of it. The first being reflect. And we started on Monday looking at reflect. Now, this is when you become present to where you are right now, because it's hard for us to move forward if we don't know right where we are to start with. Right? Because there's no point picking a destination if we haven't got a clear idea of our current reality. So on Monday, we started to look at that, just like on the Monday of Reach Retreat, we do that. And some interesting conversations came out of that session. I had women say things like, I want to like my business again. I'll make this bigger so that you can see it. I want to like my business again. And isn't it sad that, business isn't rosy every day? I know I've been in business since my late 20s, but we want to be spending our time working in businesses that we love, that sustain us, that are sustainable, where we thrive. Another conversation said, I want to be more streamlined and organized because I'm doing all the things and there's only so much of me to go around. And another woman said, I want to have direction. I just want to stop throwing spaghetti at the wall, and I want to know that I'm heading in a direction that suits me. And I shared this story on Monday about how the trajectory that I was on when I went to this retreat in Hawaii 30 years ago, not the retreat that we run. I went to a retreat in the same venue that we now take women to. I really needed direction. I was on a trajectory that was going to head me down a path that was not what I really wanted, but it was all that I knew. It was all that I knew. And one woman said this. She said, I want growth in my business without sacrificing everything else in my life. How does that sound to you? Do you want growth without having to sacrifice anything in your life? I can see there's a number of women here. Hello, Anna. Another Anna. Welcome, welcome. If you want to grow your business without having to sacrifice everything, and by everything, that means sacrificing working with your ideal client so that you're just working with whomever, sacrificing time with your family, sacrificing time with your friends, sacrificing time that you could be spending on relaxation or well-being or taking up a hobby or learning a new language. So when we get clear on where we are, we can make progress. And this is Estelle Cornell. When she came to the retreat, she had a florist store in Darwin. She's now gone on to grow a number of stores. And what she said was that when she got present, when she started to reflect, she started to realize that she'd let go of her dreams. At some point, she'd just gotten so busy. She was just on this little treadmill running the business. And she said, I had the opportunity to step away, reflect, and grab back my goals. Isn't that a wonderful visual? She said, I could grab back my goals. So she had lost sight due to her relationships, due to the business, due to the staff, due to the clients. She'd lost faith in her own goals. And so she was able to reclaim them. And then this is Michelle French. And I mentioned her on Monday. And she has a very successful medico-legal practice in Melbourne. And she said, I just haven't taken a breath. She said, I just really needed to stop and reflect and realize that while we're really good at making money, and they have a great business, it was great revenue. She said, I didn't know where we wanted to go. We were just in this momentum in the business that the business was kind of leading what our life was like. We weren't taking the direction. So getting clear. And every single day this week, I'm giving you a little worksheet so that you can work on some of the exercises. On day 2, we looked at envision. And once we know where we are, then we can set our vision for where we want to go. And this is so powerful. This is where you tap into, what do I really want? Not what does my partner want? What do my kids want? What does my faith want? Does what my community want? All the different things that pull at us. This is about us really getting in touch with how we want to spend our days. And really getting clear on what is our heart's desire. What is it that we really want? Because we can spend so much time on the demands that others put on us, the clients, the phone ringing, the car that needs repairs, so many things that can take our attention. It can be difficult to make the space. And when you can get that clarity, this is where I'm going to show you a couple of examples. And I love sharing stories of our members. This is Yvonne. And she said she was growing this great business that came out of a hobby, but now it was a thriving business. But she said, I just wanted clarity on what was possible with this business and what was my role going to be. And so her clarity, her stopping, her pausing, her envisioning this new future for women's fitness adventures was that she said what seemed impossible is now possible. And for Chantel, who has a business called Blue Gum Electrical Solutions in regional Victoria, she wanted to know how her young family and her vision and her business, how they all fit together. And it was the first time she'd ever done anything truly for herself when she came to the retreat. And she's now gone on. She's knocking on the door of a $3 million business. She's a powerhouse. I refer to her as a powerhouse because she is, because she's really clear on her vision and where it's taking her. And the final story I want to share at this point is the beautiful Tasha Jennings, who's a naturopath, and she works with women who want to conceive naturally. And she helps bring healthy pregnancies into existence and healthy babies into the world. And she said, I just wasn't thinking big enough. And she said, I needed to stop, to pause, to reflect, set this big vision, a bigger vision than I've ever had before. And that brings us to today and actualize. And in a moment, I'm going to go deeper into this topic. But actualize is when we actually make a reality of something. We don't just think about it. We don't just imagine it. We don't just wish for it, but we actually bring it into being. Now, we have got a worksheet for you, and I'm going to give you a link to it a little later on. It's a little actualized gift that allows you to look at how are you spending your time? What actions are you taking? And are they actions that are having you sit spinning your wheels, or are they actually moving you forward? And then the rest of the process is coming up on Thursday and Friday this week. Part 4 is connect. And once we know where we're going and what we want to do and how we're going to get there, then who or what do we need to be connected to? And how do we disconnect from the parts of us that are keeping us in the place that we are? I'm going to say that again. How do we disconnect from the parts of us, the thoughts, the way of being, the behavior that keeps us stuck? That's tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're going to talk about hero. And hero is my favorite day at the retreat. It's the day where everything comes together, when we've been building on getting really present to where we are, creating these visions, creating the plan like you've never done a plan before, to actually move towards that vision, knowing who and what we need to connect to and what we need to disconnect from. And then hero is about having a champion for your dreams. Both you knowing how to really step into a way of being that champions what you want, but also how to surround yourself with people who champion you rather than bring you down. This is so important. And so I'm going to be going deep into this process in Hawaii over 5 days from the 30th of October to the 3rd of November. Here below me is a link. If you go to that link, you'll be able to get more information. But a little later, I'll tell you how you can go ahead and apply. And we've got wonderful savings when you apply this week. But first, I want to share with you this quote. This is we're talking about actualize today, and I want to share this quote because it's very related, and it says, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, don't sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy. And this is from Dale Carnegie. Now, the thing about this quote, which I absolutely agree with, is we want to get busy with the right things. We all know how to be busy, right? Yes, we all know how to be busy. It's not about being more busy. It's about being busy in a way that we are actualizing. And once again, actualize means not just to take action, not just to act, but to actually bring something into being, whether that is your next big client, whether that is that beautiful new car, whether that is that family vacation, whether it is that home, whether that is that lifestyle where you're not working your fingers to the bone. Is that the right saying? Don't even know if I said that right. So what stops us from actualizing? Like I said, actualize means to actually bring something into reality. It doesn't mean do a lot of things. And anytime we're taking action, we're wanting to change something, but we're not always taking action consciously. Sometimes we're a little bit on autopilot, especially when we're really busy. And I find myself doing this. I have to bring myself back to present. I have to remember what my vision is, because we can get so busy that we're just being busy. And so we're not taking deliberate action towards our vision. We're just being busy. And while this makes sense, and I'm sure you might be nodding saying, yep, I get that. What is it that stops us from actually taking the right action, actually taking the actions that do get us our vision? What causes us to procrastinate or take the totally wrong actions? Like our vision is over there and we're over here, hanging out over here, doing something totally irrelevant. Well, there's 3 things that I want to share with you. The first is confusing busyness with actualizing. Because even though we might have compelling and seemingly excellent reasons that we're building our business and we're working as hard as we are, we can often be stopped in our tracks, and we stop taking action towards something that's meaningful, something that is purposeful, and something that's really going to impact our lives in a positive way. This is a simple idea, but it's actually also quite deep, because when people confuse busyness with actualizing, it's like we keep listing things that we haven't done yet. We've got this big to-do list, but that's not how you create the life and business you want. When we generate a to-do list, when we work the longer hours, because there's always so much to do, we're hiding behind busyness, and we confuse it with actualizing. We think by doing more, but let me tell you, there's not enough of you to get your vision if what you're doing is actions that are not related, that are not purposeful, that are not on track with what's going to get you there. But quite often this becomes a bit of a racket and a bit of a habit, that we're taking action, we're doing the things, we're trying the membership, we're developing the course, we're starting an e-commerce store, we're ordering more merchandise, we're developing more products and services. And it can be hard to distinguish between being busy, and actualizing. And so being more busy, doing more doingness is not going to help you actualize. The other mistake that we make is not starting from a centered or in the flow kind of state. And what do I mean by that? You know that old saying that we are human beings and not human doings? Related to my first point, a lot of us think that I need to do. If I just do enough, I'm going to get there. But creating the lives we love, here's what I found. And like I said, it's been 30 years since I went to Hawaii and did a business retreat, and totally changed my idea about what my business and my life was going to look like. And since then, I've created multiple businesses, multiple teams, developed a life that I'm really proud of, but more than that, helped many, many women to create lives that they love. Creating the life you love doesn't come from a to-do list or from a plan, a traditional plan anyway. It comes with inspiration. It comes with envisioning the life you really want. And when you don't have that clear vision and you don't come at it from a centered mindset, if you're hyperventilating around the things you need to get done and how important it is that you reach that financial goal or whatever it is, that's a very different space to the space of creation where you're fully present, you're very clear on where you're going, and you know the steps to take. At the Reach Retreat on Actualize Day, my partner PJ, who's an amazing creator and incredible mentor, has mentored hundreds of business owners. He walks us through the actualization process. And this is a process that allows you to say, this is where I want to be in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years' time, however far forward you want to work. And here's where I am now. And here are the important milestones along the way. And here's how I'm going to have fun on this journey along the way. It's not going to be toil. And when women start to use this process, and I'll give you some examples very, very quickly, they start to bring into being their vision, their land of plenty, which we talked about in day 2 of Reach Week. And being in that zone, being centered, being clear is a very different, far more powerful way to create than feeling desperate for a result or feeling like there's not enough. It's a different level of way of being. And this is something that you can step into. The third thing is fear. Fear of failure stops us taking the right actions. Fear of success also stops us taking the right actions. Isn't that crazy? And the more significant the vision you have for yourself, the more it's calling you, the more it's asking of you, the bigger a leap that you have to make, often the greater the fear. I wish I could see your faces because I can see that you're watching. And what I want to know is, for you, is it the fear of failure or the fear of success that stops you taking the actions that you know are going to give you the life you love? I know for me, it's been both. It's been the fear of failure. Well, if I don't try it, then I can't fail. But it's also been, but what if I tried it and it actually worked? What would that require me to do? I remember when I set my sights on opening a business in the USA. And it was just a thought, a fleeting thought, that we would open an office in the US. And then 2 invitations came for us to partner to start a business in the US. And at that point, I put the brakes on. It was like, I know I asked for this, but now I know I have to step up. I have to get better with finances. I have to get better with team. I've got to hire a CEO. I have to know how to work across different time zones. I know how do I manage 2 teams? How do I bring in middle managers? How do I now go from a small team to a team of 45 people across 3 countries? The fear of failure can really hold us from actualizing, but the fear of success can too, because it asks more of us. And I can see a bunch of us saying, yeah, both. And Anna says, fear of success much more than fear of failure for me. And that's why I'm so glad that you are coming to the Reach Retreat, because it sounds crazy, but we do it. And I see it every single day. And that's exactly why we develop this environment where you can feel safe in thinking big and not second guessing yourself and thinking, well, who am I to have this sort of success? Who am I to even mouth the words that I want to have this much money or this much fame or this much income or this much time off or this much travel or whatever it is? And my goal is to get women more and more comfortable with what they want and being really comfortable with what you want, and have it be okay with what you want no matter what else anyone else wants. It doesn't really matter. But to be bigger, to have a bigger dream, means that fear might pop up because maybe I don't know how to get there, or maybe I don't have the right people around me, or maybe I don't have the skill set, or maybe I just don't know. I've never done that before. And that becomes a reason to procrastinate, because heck, if I don't do it, I won't fail. If I don't do it, I won't need to step up, right? If I don't take that risk, if I don't put myself on the line. Now, for many, many years, we would interview women who we inducted into our Business Women's Hall of Fame. And we've inducted over 200 women into our Hall of Fame over the last 20-something years. One of those women is Louise Olson. She's one of the founders of a beautiful, actually, these are Dinosaur Designs. It's a jewelry brand. And she said, the biggest risk you can take is to not take risks. At the time, she'd been in business for 30 years, and she said those words: the biggest risk you can take is to not take risks. So anytime we step out, we reach higher, we're taking a risk by taking an action. And so she's been taking risk after risk for over 30 years. She shared with us her philosophy that we as business owners need to take risks if we want to be successful. We need to step outside of that comfort zone. We need to step into that fear zone. And she opened up 7 stores throughout Australia. She then opened up in New York. Her brand continues to be at the leading edge. You know, they don't do sales. They never have to put their products and services on sale because they have such an in-demand, beautiful, excellent, quality sort of product and service. If you want to really reach with your business, it's important to get comfortable with actualizing, not just taking action, but actualizing, actually bringing things into being. That means seeing them through to conclusion. That means not procrastinating. That is staying the course. But you have to know what that course is. You have to know the direction you're going. That's why this week I'm giving you access to the reach process. Because when we actualize and we work on the plan that we cover at the Reach Retreat on day 3, then every action you take is purposeful. Every action is leading towards that vision. There aren't bright, shiny objects. There isn't anything derailing you. There isn't fear in your ear saying, well, who do you think you are to want that beautiful thing, whatever you want? I wish I could just get in your ear right now and you could tell me, what is it that you really want? What is it that when you won't even mouth it because you're fearful? You don't have to put it in chat because I realize everyone can see that. Yeah. Yeah, and Colleen, hello, Colleen. So lovely to have you here. She said, I can manage to have both at the same time, both the fear of failure and both the fear of success. And I don't know if you know Colleen. I've only gotten to know a little bit about Colleen in the last little while, and she's got this wonderful business and it's growing. But like a lot of us, she doesn't want to have to sacrifice everything for the purpose of growth. And so knowing what that plan is for you, Colleen, knowing I don't have to do all the things. I just have to do these purposeful things from a calm state of being. I'm getting goosebumps. So I know this is resonating with someone out there. If this is resonating with you, would you go ahead and let me know in chat, even if you're watching the replay? When we know where we're going, when we have a plan, when that plan resonates with us, when we're totally clear and present, we can move forward. And we can move forward consciously. We can actualize, we can bring things into being. Some people talk about manifestation. I love the idea of manifestation. Here's my problem with it, is that it gets tied up with, well, if I just put a picture on my wall, then that'll be enough. You've got to move your feet. You've got to take the action. But it's not about taking all the actions. It's about taking the right actions. Anna says she's got goosebumps too. Yeah, that's a little thing for me. Anytime I'm speaking something and I get goosebumps, I know that somebody heard that. That was a message for someone. So hopefully it was a message for a few of you. So we talked about 3 things and the reasons that people don't actualize. One was confusing busyness and doingness with actualizing. The second one was not being in that clear, centered zone, instead being frenetic like this, right? And the final one was the fear of failure and the fear of success. And as we've seen in the answers here, we can hold both those things in place. So how do we take a breath? How do we center ourselves? How do we start to create environments where we can have what we want? I want to show you this picture because it is just beautiful. It's on the next slide. Where is this? Here. See this place? This is the view from the resort in Hawaii. We've created an environment that gives you an opportunity to actualize. It's to get away from being busy. It's to get the clarity and focus. It's to get the actual step-by-step plan, unlike any plan you've ever done before. And I'm going to give you an example of how quickly things can happen when you do this. And it's a place to deal with those demons that are keeping you in fear of success or fear of failure. And it's where you get a more expansive vision. Just being able to see far allows us to dream bigger. And if we, here I am in my office, I don't have any windows in this particular office or wherever you are enclosed right now. Think about when you can actually physically see far. Our brain just opens up. Possibilities open up for us. This is Kathy Betty. She came to this is Kathy Betty. She came to the very first Reach Retreat in 2017. She's coming back again this December. And she said this. I'm just going to read it out to you. She said, I can't believe it was a year ago. We were all nervous and excited about attending the retreat. She said, I wanted to share that what I've been able to achieve since our fantastic time together. She said, we bought our land of plenty. See this beautiful piece of land? She bought it. It was her vision to have this country property and to move on. And it happened so quickly. And she said, I've been meaning to post this for a few months. She said, but my mum was ill, and so I'm just posting it now. She said, it's so peaceful, and I'm looking forward to spending more time there. And she said, we purchased it against the odds. She said, my newfound confidence from the retreat had me playing the banks off against each other to get the best deal, something I would never have dreamed of. But see, she was approaching that, actualizing that from that calm, centered, I know what I want, I know what steps I need to take position. She said, the other important achievement is the new business plan I have in place to expand my one little center. She has early childhood, like play centers, where you can take kids for birthday parties and things, to many. She said, the sky's the limit. She said, I'm sharing this to encourage everyone to keep going. Everything has come about purely from the change of mindset I created at the retreat. I wish we were all back there together again this week. It was truly a special time. She said, my love to you all. And so she created this very, very quickly. And that's what happens when you have the clarity, when the fear goes away, when she can play the banks off against each other and get her best deal, when she can cite that property. And I saw the listing, like she's made the offer. She then needed the finance and she just went for it, unapologetically, fearlessly going for what she wanted. And that's how you actualize. That's how you actualize. You take the right actions, not the being busy actions. You are centered and focused. You know where you're going because, hey, what? You've already created your vision. You're already envisioned. You know what that is. You know it holographically, which means you know that vision every direction and you embody it. That's how you know. But to get there, we need to stop. We need to pause. So that is actualize. Like I said, we have a worksheet. I'll give it to you later. But for now, I want to invite you, if anything here has resonated for you, either today or any part of this week, I want you to come to the Reach Retreat. It's in October. It's in Hawaii. Beautiful, beautiful big island of Hawaii. We already have a fabulous group of women coming along. This is a place for you to pause, for you to find the space and time to be able to see far. We're on the corner of this piece of land and we're right on the volcanic rocks and there's nothing in front of us. And if you could see far enough, you'd probably see Maui. But there's nothing in front of us. And so your ability to envision, your ability to breathe is enhanced. It's most incredible experience. It's hard to verbalize, but I hope I did that. Then every day for 5 days, we have these classroom sessions. So I invite these mentors to come along and each of us teaches a different part of the Reach Retreat process. And we are there for you the whole week. So the mentors are there all week. They're there for laser coaching. They're there for one-on-one conversations. They're there for you to pick their brains and they're experts. Like Michelle is an expert marketer and content marketer. She also works with the envisioning process with organizations and helps them build multi-billion-dollar marketing funnels. Valerie is the owner of the Writer Center. She has a radar like nobody on what's stopping you. She can laser focus on what it is that's holding you back. And she will tell you to your face unapologetically. She's also an incredible content creator. And so people ask her about, well, how do I market my business? And where will I find my ideal client? And what are the opportunities for me? Both of them have grown and been part of multi-million-dollar businesses. Another mentor is my partner, PJ, who's grown with me 5 7-figure businesses. He's also mentored hundreds of business owners across all industries. But, his biggest gift, we're talking about this morning, his biggest gift is that he has oversight. He understands strategy. And that's what he introduces, because it's all well and good to say, I want that. But what is your strategy? What are the steps that you're going to take to get your land of plenty, to get your beautiful business or that income or the property that you want or the lifestyle that you want? So I bring these people together and then we have a couple of extra guests. And there's time to connect and make relationships, not just with anybody. This is a small group. We had 22 women last year. That was our biggest group. And I expect we'll have somewhere around that again this year. This is not a come in and you're lost. This is intimate. This is you showing up for you. This is you showing up for your business. And it's by application, it's by invitation. And I know that if this is resonating with you, likely there's a part of you that knows that the action you need to be taking is leaning into supporting yourself and your business in a different way. Plus, there's lots of celebrations, there's cultural experiences because, heck, we're in Hawaii. We're going to take advantage of the beautiful food and the beautiful people and the beautiful everything that there is to enjoy. And while it's a residential program, so everyone stays at the beautiful retreat, we also have things that we do off-site in other places. And why I do this, and we offer lots of different things here at her business, but why I do it is because it is the quickest way Like we could do a year-long program, we could do, but nothing matches the intensity of putting yourself in a place for 5 days where you are going to get greater clarity. So these are three of the women. Anna, who's here watching, she said, this will be my first year. I'm so excited. I can't stop talking about it. And Michelle came last year. She's coming back again this year. She had such a good time. And Kat was watching yesterday and she said, all these images are making me homesick. She has transformed her life in the last 12 months. She's gone from a corporate role that she had for a long time to fully in her own business. She'd had her own business before, and so you do have to be a business owner. And she was doing this thing on the side. Gone is the job, full-time, headlong into her business with a huge goal to grow this year. So here's what you can expect. And we're getting kudos for PJ here. He's a fantastic mentor. Clarity. Nothing beats clarity. Knowing what you want, knowing where you're going. Big goals, being able to have bigger goals than you have right now and do that unapologetically. Getting unstuck. That stuckness could be the type of people you're working with, the range of products and services. It could be how you feel inside your mind. Getting to that next vision, having a renewed focus so you're not split, taking a breath, stepping things up. Now, I'm going through these quickly, but all this information is available over at thereachretreat.com if you want to look more deeply in what it is that you get. A sense of being supported by me, by the other mentors, by the other women in the room. And a plan, unlike any plan you've ever done before. This is our proprietary PJ's Magic plan. Playing a bigger game and more money. Women go on to have their best year ever, year after year after year. And I could tell you countless stories of women who've come to the program and they were doing $100,000 and now they're hitting 1.2 million. I can tell you stories of women who came and were doing $1 million, who are now doing 4 and 5 million. Women who maybe they were just scratching at the door of $100,000, but now they're well into 6 figures. They're growing teams. They've got more viable products and services and a more sustainable business. And that happens because this is a formula. This is the same formula I've used to grow 5, 7-figure businesses, and we dive deep into it. Now, before I explain the price, I can tell you it's not cheap, but you've probably already guessed that because it's a 5-day all-inclusive event. It's the hotel by the water. It's and your accommodation for the whole time you're there. It's every meal. It's everything you drink. It's excursions. It's access to 4 world-class mentors for 4 days. I'll break it down for you, but it's not just the week. It's a 4-month process. So what we do, and here's what I mean, is that following the retreat, we want to make sure that you're implementing the REACH process and that you've got a sounding board. So we give you a 4-month follow-up program where you can ask questions of me and the mentors. And this support is only available to women who do the REACH retreat. In fact, next week, I'm meeting with the women from 2022. And we're finalizing our 4-month program. And then they're part of the alumni. They're part of a group of other women who've also been through this process. So they understand the language. They understand what it means to envision and to actualize and to hero something we'll talk about on Friday. But we also give you some great resources that you can use with your team and you can use with yourself to do this process over and over again. There's worksheets and templates that you won't find anywhere else. They're specifically ours and developed by me and my other and my mentors that are available for you. So that is all part of the package that we've put together for you. Plus, as I said, you join the alumni. And we started this program in 2017. We had 11 people at the very first event. And then for 2 years, we couldn't do the retreat. But we now have 50 women who've been through this process who are all growing and scaling amazing businesses. And they become part of your network. This is a network separate to the Her Business Network that is just for those who've done the REACH program. And they're all supporting each other. They're visiting each other. And it's really easy to get access. All you need to do is go ahead and apply. And it's a simple application process where you answer a few questions about your business and your aspirations. And then you and I get on a call. But this program is not for everyone. And the reason is that it's really for you if you've been in business for a few years and you've had some success already, but not quite the level you want. Or you can see there's just way more that you want to achieve. And if you just keep going at the rate you're going, it's going to take forever. It could also be that you know there's amazing potential for you, but it's just outside of your reach. Or that you just cannot. If you just keep doing what you're doing, you can keep hoping you're going to find the time to focus, but you just can't. Or it could be that you need to bring some renewed energy, just like the person the other day who said to me, I just want to like my business again. I totally get it. Or it could be that you want a healthy, sustainable business, not one that costs you everything, your health, your well-being, your time with your family, but one that is sustainable. And sustainable doesn't just mean money-wise, it means that it sustains you as well. You're not burning out. And you want to love your business again. Or maybe you just need time and space to just be able to think, to just be able to breathe. So we've included over $28,300 in value, and I'm going to break it down for you. First, you get 5 full personalized and interactive group training sessions with world-class mentors. You also get 5 nights luxury accommodation in this beautiful retreat on the big island of Hawaii. You get all your meals, all your refreshment, all your Mai Tais, all your wines, all your beers, all your mocktails, everything, plus all your snacks. Like, you will not go hungry. Lots of surprise fun and cultural activities. Daily oceanside yoga and stretching. It's optional. We do that in the morning to get you kind of really centered and focused on the day. Daily juice and journaling. I run these journaling sessions where we're going deeper. We're really tapping into our heart's desire every single day through these sessions. Gifts and goodies. We like to surprise and delight you, and of course our online community. And that is over $28,000 worth of value, but it's not going to cost you that. There's a no risk money back guarantee. So when I do tell you the price, know that if you do this program and it's not what was prescribed, then you get your money back. That's how much I believe in it, that you would actually go to Hawaii, you would spend 5 days, you would eat, you would drink, you would lap up the wonderfulness of Hawaii, and you would still get your money back. When you apply by this Friday night, you save $2,000. If you're a Her Business Network member, the fee is $11,995. Now, the full price is $13,995, and the program is well worth that. You've already heard me tell you, people are doubling the size of their business. They're having their best year ever. All this magic is coming out of doing the program. They're finding this beautiful land that they want to live on. They're, finding their middle managers. They're doing all the things that they want. They're growing these incredible businesses that their heart connected to. So at full price, this program is a bargain. This is why women come back and back. So this year we have at least 3 women who are coming back, 1 for the 4th time, 1 for the 3rd time, 2 for the 2nd time. Why? Because when they come back, they're a brand new person. They've done this level of growth. And they're like, give me some more of that reach magic. And they come in and then they elevate again. So the savings of $2,000 are great. It'll go towards your airfares. It'll go towards shopping, whatever you want to do. And you don't have to pay anything just now. All you need to do is head over to thereachretreat.com to put in your application. That secures your savings. And then sometime, either before the 21st or after, we'll have a conversation. And at that point, we get to talk about what's going on in your business. Is this a good move for your business? Is there something else that I can suggest that's a good move for your business? Maybe it's something we do. Maybe it's something someone else does. But even if you're a little bit curious, you want to do this. And for many women, they've never invested this sort of time and money in themselves. And I know when I went to my first business retreat in 1993 on this same island, in this same resort, it's been renovated a couple of times, it's changed name a couple of times. That was the biggest I'd ever invested in myself. But that was where I got so connected with my vision for creating the business and life that I have now. It is how I created my beautiful events company that I had for 13 years and I sold for a beautiful profit. It is when I got connected that I knew I wanted to take women back. It took me a few years and a few iterations of growing her business to the point where I thought, I think women really need this. And 50 women have proven me right, that this is something that really changes lives. It's the program that women who've been there call transformational, life-changing, the best thing I ever did. And often we leave ourselves till last. And often, as I said earlier, we let fear make our decision because it's like, I don't know if I should spend that money on myself. If you're not spending on you, where are you spending it? If it's not on your own education, no matter what the economy is doing, there are 2 things you always want to invest in. 1 is the people who you have around you, and 2 is your education. And so I know, I get it. I know when Chantel said, I have never done anything for me. When Amy Geach said to me, another graduate said to me, for 10 years I'd been head down and I never thought, but I know I couldn't afford to not do it. She had a healthy business. She was making great money. She had a couple of different centers. She helps people with wrist and hand injuries. So, the money was coming in, but she wasn't happy. She wasn't creating a business and a life that she loved. So that is the payment opportunity. You can pay in full or you can pay in installments. We're in May. It's not till October. No, we're not even in May. We're still in April. We've got till October to pay it off. Or you might want to pay in full and say, I want to take the extra savings, Susie. I'll pay in full. That way I don't have to think about it. Then what happens is we set up a time. You'll see on the page a time to book in a chat with me. When we have that chat, if it's then a yes, what happens is we start onboarding you, we start preparing you, we start getting materials to you, we start making sure that by the time you get there in October, you're going to be able to make the most out of that wonderful opportunity. So that is what is available to you. We have 2 more days of Reach Week. Tomorrow, we are talking about connection and who and what we need to be connected to get what we want in our businesses. And I mean this from a point of view of sometimes we need to disconnect from certain people. Sometimes we need to disconnect from certain ideas, ways of thinking. Most of all, we often need to disconnect from ways of being that are keeping us where we are. Ooh, deep, right? Because really, everything we create in our life is totally dependent on how we think, what we believe, how we, and then what actions we take. And today we talked about the fact that we don't want to be more busy. No one wants to be more busy. We just want to have more of what we want. So that's coming up. And then on Friday, we have the final session where I go into part 5 of the Reach Retreat process, which is Hero. So if you have any questions at all, let me know. I would love to see you go ahead and apply. All you need to do is head on over to thereachretreat.com, click the button. On that page, you'll be able to see stories of women just like the ones I've mentioned here today. In fact, you might even see some of the stories that I did mention. And then you'll simply fill out the application form, and then you get the calendar, you choose your date and time, and then the team will notify me, and I will make sure it's in my calendar as well. And then we get to have a conversation. So if anything I said here speaks to you, even if you're just curious and you think, I know this is a big leap, I've never done this sort of thing, but you know in your heart, right? You know in your heart, this is not a, free webinar I'm talking about. This is not a listen to the podcast. This is deep, meaningful work that can only happen when you fully immerse yourself in an experience. And that experience is the Reach Retreat. So join me at the Reach Retreat. I hope to see your application come through. I also look forward to seeing you tomorrow for part 4 of Reach Week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now. You're awesome.